Hello, welcome to another video. Today I have my Christmas book haul. I know I did a book haul very recently, which was my book haul before Christmas, but it has now been Christmas and I have another big old stack of books to haul that were Christmas gifts from lovely, lovely people. So we have another haul. Sorry if you're not one that likes hauls, and I've uploaded two pretty close together, but they gotta be done. So let's get cracking on my Christmas book haul. Firstly, I do just want to say thank you so much to everyone who sent me something for Christmas. You absolutely do not have to. You never have to. But I am so grateful and so appreciative for everybody who does. It astounds me how generous so many people are, and I now need to find even more space on my bookshelf, which is gonna be a struggle, but we'll do some reorganisation and we'll get it done. Firstly, from my dear friend Jess, I got The Christmasaurus and the Winter Witch by Tom Fletcher. The little gift note is sticking out there. I have recently read a few Christmassy middle grades and really enjoyed them, and this one has some fantastic reviews. At this point, these will probably get read next Christmas because I've read this year's Christmassy middle grades and like there's not really any space for them this year, but next Christmas I see these getting read. I don't know too much about these other than our main character is disabled. He's in a wheelchair. I believe he was in a car crash. And there is a Christmas dinosaur, which is the Christmasaurus. Forget everything you thought you knew about the North Pole. Pop a crumpet in the toaster and get ready to meet a boy called William Trundle, his dad Bob Trundle, Santa Claus, yes the real Santa Claus, an elf named Snozzle Trump, Brenda Payne, the meanest girl in school, possibly the world, a nasty piece of work called the Hunter, and a most unusual dinosaur. Festive, fun, middle grade. So look forward to getting to these next Christmas period. Thank you very much, Jess, for these. Next up, I got a little stack of goodies from Cody. I love Cody. We all love Cody. And Cody got me the other two books in the... I've forgotten what this trilogy is called. Trilogy? The next trilogy in the Elderling Along. Fool's Errand, Fool's Fate, and The Golden Fall. What is this trilogy called? I can't remember. Tawny Man! That's it. She got me the other two books in the Tawny Man trilogy, so thank you very much, Cody, for these. I don't know much about these other than I believe we're following Fitz in the Fall again, but I don't want to know because I have not yet finished the Live Ship Traders trilogy, so I don't want to know much about these because I know they all kind of follow on from each other, loosely related. I just don't want to know. And the blurbs of these editions do tend to be pretty spoilery, so not gonna know, but all part of the Realm of the Elderling series that I am currently reading for the Elderling Along and loving very much. I have become quite fond of Robin Hobb, so thank you very much to Cody for gifting me the other two in that trilogy. And she also sent me The Haunting of Evelyn Jones, which honestly the cover sold me on this. It's absolutely diddly. But this is a, like, creepy, spooky middle grade. Turn on your torches and join Evelyn Jones. Evelyn loves reading ghost stories, so a dreary half-term becomes much more exciting when she discovers a spooky old book. Not only are the stories spine-tingling, but it belonged to a girl called Primrose Penberthy, who vanished mysteriously, never to be seen again. Intrigued, Evelyn decides to investigate Primrose's disappearance, with some help from her new friend Harold. Now someone or something is staring, and it's looking for Evelyn. Doesn't it sound chilling? And that cover is just absolutely stunning. So thank you very much, Cody, for these goodies. Next up, I got a gift from Marie. Thank you very much, Marie, for that. And this is one of my most anticipated reads, and it is The Memory of Babel by Christelle DeBose. This is the third book in the Mirror Visitor quartet, I believe it's going to be. I love the first one. I absolutely adored the second one, and this is the third one. I'm so excited to get to this. I would love to get to this in January, like ASAP ideally. But this series follows a girl called Ophelia who is a mirror visitor. She comes from an arc called Anima, and each of the arcs in this world have a family spirit, which is like a god. And the family spirit of Anima, which is where our main character Ophelia comes from, is Artemis, and all of her descendants have the abilities to either like animate inanimate objects, bring them to life a little bit, restore things, repair things, read the history of objects, and Ophelia has the power to travel through mirrors. She is forced into an arranged marriage with a very stubborn, cold-looking man from a northern arc called the Pole, and their family god is Farouk. And in their arc, there's lots of political goings-on. There are different clans within the family arc that are kind of at each other's throats. There's a lot of secrets and betrayals and stuff going on there, and Ophelia is kind of dragged into the middle of all of that through her arranged marriage to Mr. Thorne. I have fallen in love with this series, quite simply. It's compelling, it's political, it's mysterious, it's action-packed, and I have grown to love the characters, I love the setting, I'm very, very much into it. I only recently finished the second book and I'm so eager to dive into the third, so thank you so much, Marie, for this. I am beyond excited to read this, so thank you so much. Next up is a gift from the lovely Steph. Thank you ever so much, Steph, and she has sent me The Extraordinaries by TJ Klune. I recently read The House in the Cerulean Sea by him and absolutely adored it, and quite a way back I read The Lightning Struck Heart by him and also really adored it, the funniest thing I have ever read. And those two books from him are very, very different. One is a giant dirty joke, and one is heartwarming cuteness. Like, you can figure out which one's which. So I'm intrigued to read more from him. I have learnt that I like his writing, and this one is another one that's been quite popular. Something to do with superpowers, I'm pretty sure. In Nova City, there are extraordinary people capable of feats that defy the imagination. Shadowstar protects the city and manipulates darkness, and Pyrostorm is determined to bring the city to its knees using his power over fire. And then there's Nick, who, well, being the most popular fan fiction writer in the Extraordinaries fandom, is a superpower, right? Instead of fighting crime, Nick must contend with a new year at school, a father who doesn't trust him, a best friend named Seth, who may or may not be the love of Nick's short, uneventful life. It should be enough that after a chance encounter with Shadowstar, Nova City's mightiest hero, and Nick's biggest crush, Nick sets out to make himself extraordinary. He'll do it with or without his friend's help. Sounds like fun. I'm excited about it, and as I say, I have learnt that I quite like TJ Klune's writing, so I'm excited to dive into this. Thank you ever so much, Steph, for this one. Now, I'm not entirely sure how this happened, and I'm really sorry that this did happen, but Stacey and Claire, thank you so much for sending me a gift, but I'm not sure how this happened. Because I assume that you both got this off my wish list, and Amazon tends to take things off your wish list when someone's bought it. So the only thing I can think of is that you both did this at the same time, which would be a very strange coincidence. But thank you both for gifting me Romanov by Nadine Brands. I'm excited to read it, and it's beautiful, so hopefully I love it and will appreciate having 2 copies of it. But thank you both ever so much for this. I do really appreciate it, and I'm really sorry that somehow this happened, but thank you so much, Stacey and Claire, for these. This one is a Anastasia retelling, I want to say. The history books say I died, they don't know the half of it. Anastasia Romanov was given a single mission, to smuggle an ancient spell into her suitcase on her way to exile in Siberia, and it might be her family's only salvation. But the leader of the Bolshevik army is after them, and he's hunted Romanov before. Anastasia's only chances of saving herself and her family are either to release the spell and deal with the consequences, or enlist help from Zash, a handsome soldier who doesn't act like the average Bolshevik. Anastasia has only dabbled in magic, but it doesn't frighten her half as much as her growing attraction to Zash. She likes him. She thinks he might even like her. That is, until she's on one side of a firing squad and he's on the other. So, bit of romance, but it's an Anastasia retelling, and I'm into that, so I look forward to reading this, and again, thank you both Stacey and Claire for gifting me the same book. I'm really sorry. Next up, I have a gift from Fran. Thank you very much, Fran, for this, and she has gifted me House of Dragons by Jessica Cluess. This looks absolutely gorgeous, and I believe it's a fight for the throne. I think the emperor or the king has died, and these like 5 families or houses have to put someone forward to fight for the throne, which sounds grand. And the cover is just gorgeous, and all of those swords with the dragons, and I don't know if there are actually dragons in it. 5 houses will hear the call to compete for the dragon throne. A liar, a soldier, a servant, a thief, and a murderer will answer it. Who will win? Fight to the death for the throne. Sounds awesome. I'm excited, and thank you very much, Fran, for this one. Next up is a gift from Becca, which is Never Contented Things by Sarah Porter. She hated this, and I said I wanted to give it a go, so she's thrown her copy my way. Thank you. I've read one thing from Sarah Porter before, which is this here, Vasa in the Night. It is definitely the same woman, right? Yeah, it is definitely the same woman, so I liked that. It was very weird and wacky, and Becca hated this, so we'll see what I think of this when I eventually get to reading it. The cover is a little bit creepy, so yeah, we'll leave that at that. Thanks, Becca, for sending this my way. Next up is a gift from Jade, so thank you very much, Jade, for sending this my way, and she sent me October by Katya Belen? We live in the woods and we are wild. I don't know much about this, but it's just gorgeous. And I've heard some like positive reviews for it, but I couldn't tell you what it's about. October and her dad live in the woods. They sleep in the house Dad built for them, and they know the trees and the rocks and the lake and the stars like best friends. They live in the woods and they are wild, and that's the way it is, until the year October turns 11. That's the year October rescues a baby owl. It's the year Dad falls out of the biggest tree and goes to hospital. The year the woman who calls herself October's mother comes back. The year everything changes. This sounds really good to me. It sounds like it's going to be a mix of heartwarming and heartbreaking, but also just the idea of October and her dad being in the wild sounds wild. So I'm looking forward to this, and thank you very much, Jade, for this one. But that's not it, because she also sent me volume 15 of Lumberjanes. I'm very excited to be able to continue with Lumberjanes. I've always said about it that it's very much an up and down journey for me. Some volumes I love, some I don't, but I am still attached to the series and do still really want to continue. So thank you very much for volume 15 of that. I look forward to getting to it. This one follows a group of girls at the Lumberjanes camp for hardcore lady types, and it's their friendship in this wild summer camp where there are gods and monsters and creatures, all sorts of mythical beings. There have been yetis, there's dinosaurs, there's a bear woman, there's literally Greek gods, there's all sorts going on in this wild summer camp. So thank you very much for that one as well. Next up from Mackenzie, I have Inkheart by Cornelia Funk. This is one that I had never really been that interested in, although I know it's kind of a children's classic and everyone's read and loved it. But when they had the cover redesigns by Carl James Mountford, obviously that just piqued my interest, and I knew I needed to get my hands on it because it's gorgeous. They are chunky middle grades. These editions are gorgeous, so I needed to start owning them, and I will one day read it. But from what I know, this girl and her dad can bring things to life through like ink and paper, like writing stories. Dare to read it aloud. Meggie loves stories, but her father Mo hasn't read aloud to her since her mother mysteriously disappeared. When a stranger knocks at their door, Mo is forced to reveal an extraordinary secret. As he reads aloud, words come alive and dangerous characters step out of the pages. Suddenly, Meggie is living in the kind of adventure she's only read about in books, but this one will change her life forever. Okay, so they can bring things to life from like written stories, reading them aloud. It's a classic. Everyone loves Inkheart, or at least everyone that's read it has, and it's one that I remember when I was in school lots of people would read, and I just never had the desire to myself. When was it first published? 2003. Quite an older one, actually. I remember growing up seeing this in like school libraries and stuff and never picking it up. but these cover redesigns have just done something for me. Thank you very much, Mackenzie, for gifting me this. It's gonna take, you know, a very prime spot in my Cole James Mountford collection. Next up is a gift from Zoe. Thank you very much, Zoe, for that. And this is The Wolf Wilder by Catherine Rundell. I have read one thing from Catherine Rundell before, which is The Explorer, and I liked it but didn't love it. But this seems like it's going to be right up my street because, of course, it gives me polar fantasy vibes because snowy cover, wolves, and I believe this follows our main character racing across the snowy Russian landscape, and that is my jam. Once upon a time there was a dark and stormy girl. Her name was Fyodora. This is her story. Where her mother is kidnapped, Theo must set out on a journey across Russia with 4 wild wolves she loves. A journey that will take them into the heart of a revolution. Sounds like my thing. I'm excited about reading this. This would be great for Polathon. Thank you very much, Zoe, for gifting me this one. Next up, from Lisa. Thank you very much, Lisa. I have Lumberjanes volume 14, so I've done this in a bit of a backwards order. But yeah, another volume in Lumberjanes that I look forward to reading. It's been a very up and down series, everything I've already said about it, but another one in that. This one looks very bright and colourful. I look forward to seeing what Ripley's rainbows are all about. So thank you very much, Lisa, for this one. Next up from G, thank you very much, G, is Descender volume 2. Steph got me volume 1 from my last book haul, so we have volume 2 of Descender. I'm really excited to read this. It's one of G's favourites, so it's very fitting that she has gifted me volume 2. I look forward to reading this, hopefully sometime very soon. This is a sci-fi comic series about planet-sized robots and a robot called Tim and his dog, and I don't know much more than that. That's what I can remember from the blurb of the first one, but of course I don't want to read the blurb of the second one because I haven't read the first one and I don't want to spoil it. So yeah, but sci-fi comic series, robots the size of planets, and an AI little boy called Tim. But yes, thank you very much, G, for this one. Next up, I have a few books from my nan. Thank you very much to my nan for those, and one of those is Russian Magic Tales, From Pushkin to Platonov. This one is one that was recommended by Sophie Anderson. When Gavin did his live show with Sophie Anderson, I asked her where I should start with like wanting to read original Russian fairy tales because I'm so into like retellings that I should probably read some originals. And this is what she recommended, and I was like, yep, immediately gonna buy that. But my nan bought it for me for Christmas, so I now have my mitts on this, and I'm very excited to dive into this. I don't think it's gonna be one that I'm gonna read all in one go, because it's all like little fairy tales, so it'll be one that I will probably dive in and out of. I'm really excited to dip in and out of this one, so thanks to Sophie Anderson for the recommendation, and thanks to my nan for buying it. I don't expect my nan's watching. But my nan also got me The Humans by Matt Haig. This is again one of G from Book Roast's faves, and she has raved about it quite a lot. It's pretty high on her fave books list, and I want to dip into some adult Matt Haig, and this interests me more than some of his other ones I've heard of do, so we'll see how I get on with this one. But this is about an alien who comes down to Earth and has to like impersonate a human and learn the human way of life. So it's like an outsider's perspective on human living. It just sounds really fascinating, so I look forward to diving into that one. So thank you again to my nan. And she also got me A Secret of Birds and Bone by Kieran Millwood Hargrave. I don't know much about this one, but I know that a lot of people have read and loved it. And I am curious. I think this girl's mother like carves bone or something? Sophia lives outside of the city of Siena with her mama, little brother and their pet crow. Her mother is a bone binder, famous for her keepsakes and charms. But ever since an unexpected visit from a silver-veiled stranger, Mama has not been herself. She no longer takes pleasure in her work, nor will she let Sophia help. When Mama is arrested on Sophia's birthday, the children are taken to the city orphanage. It's there that Sophia decides she is no longer a helpless child. Clutching her Mama's gift, an intricate bone locket, she sets out to unravel the secrets that bind her family to Siena itself. There's that one. I've heard good things about it, so I look forward to diving into it at some point. And thank you very much to my nan. Next up from Becca, I have Invisible Kingdom Volume 2. I recently read Volume 1 of this and really quite enjoyed it, so I'm looking forward to diving into Volume 2 as well. This one takes place in a world where there is like a galactic mega corporation, which is like Amazon, that delivers anything anywhere instantly, and a religion that seems very cult-like, and they are pitched as like enemies. But our two main characters, one works for the corporation and one is a follower of the religion, both find out something that kind of tangles them together in a bit of a corrupt way. And it's a secret that neither of them should know that puts them in a bit of a dangerous spot. And this is volume 2 in that. I don't know what this one's about, but I really did enjoy the first one, and I'm curious to see where our main characters go next and what they do with the information they have. Looking forward to this one. The little gift note keeps slipping out, but thank you very much to Becca for gifting me this one for Christmas. Next up from Megan, I have Witch Boy, or The Witch Boy, sorry. Thank you very much, Megan, for gifting me this one. Gift notes keep wanting to fall out of comics, which is frustrating, but this is, I believe it's a middle grade, but it's a thicker graphic novel that just sounds adorable. Follows a boy called Aster, I believe, and in his family, boys become shapeshifters, girls become witches. No exceptions, that is what happens. However, Aster never got the hang of shapeshifting and instead is a bit more witchy. So it sounds like it's going to be Aster's story of getting to know themselves and where they fall and what they're good at. But of course there's probably going to be some sort of like dangerous magic going on as well. During a night of shapeshifting practice, one of the boys goes missing. Aster knows he can search for the boy with the witchcraft he's secretly been learning. Could breaking family's most important tradition save the day or ruin everything? So he will have to expose his witchy skills. Sounds like fun. I'm really excited about it, and I love big old graphic novels, so I'm very excited about this one. Thank you very much to Megan for this one. Next up from Maya, thank you so much Maya, is Lightfall, The Girl and the Guardian by Tim Probert. This sounds wild. I'm so excited to read this. One, art style, absolutely the cutest thing. It's adorable. It's so adorable. I love it. I just need to read you the blurb of this. Deep in the heart of Irpa, I don't know if that's how you pronounce that, Irpa, stands the Salty Pig's Tonic and Tinctures, home of the wise pig wizard and his adopted granddaughter Bee. As keeper of the endless flame, they live a quiet and peaceful life, crafting medicines and potions for the people of their once prosperous world. All that changes when Bee meets Cad, a member of the Galgerians, a race thought to be long extinct. Cad believes that if anyone can help him find his missing people, it's the pig wizard. But when the two arrive home, the pig wizard is nowhere to be found. Fearing for the pig wizard's safety, Bee and Cad set out across Irpa to find him, while danger fights its way out of the shadows and into the light. Can this reluctant duo get their act together in time to save the world, or has Irpa truly seen its last sunrise? It just sounds adorable. There's a pig wizard. Is he a pig? I don't know. But it's just so cute, and I am very excited to read this. It looks incredible. So thank you so much, Maya, for this one. Then of course I got a few gifts from Molly because she's insane. Molly got me the Darker Shade of Magic trilogy, which, I mean, you might think, don't you already own that like a few times? Yes I do, but do I want a US paperback set in the box? Yes I do. So I won't talk about this too much, but thank you very much, Molly, for this. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to adding it to my Schwab shelf. And then Molly also gifted me Saga Volume 8 and Saga Volume 9 because I stopped at Volume 7 and never continued, and really want to. This is like Romeo and Juliet, but in space. They are two opposing sides of a galactic war that have fallen in love and have a baby, and that baby causes trouble. And it follows their life kind of from the baby's perspective, or as if she's looking back telling the story. I really look forward to continuing on with this, so thank you very much, Molly, for these. And then last but not least, I got a gift from my sisters, which really means from my mum. But Animal Crossing New Horizons, the ultimate guide. It's the unofficial guide, but it's an Animal Crossing guide. And it's got like all the flower breeding patterns and stuff in here, and who all the characters are and how to improve things, and I will be looking forward to playing Animal Crossing, flicking through this and seeing what I can better myself on. So thanks to my sisters. And that is that. That is everything I have for my Christmas haul. Thank you so much to everybody who gifted me anything. I haven't gone through any of the non-bookish gifts, but I'm also very appreciative to everyone who sent me something non-bookish. Pris, these earrings are gorgeous. Becca and Ashley both sent me t-shirts that are absolutely gorgeous. Oh, and chocolates. I mean, it's all good fun. Got a beanbag from me mum. Oh. Anyway, just here for the books, aren't we? So that's that. But thank you ever so much to everyone who sent me anything. I am so appreciative. I hope you're all enjoying the festive break, or had a nice festive break. I don't know when I'm posting this. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed watching this little, I say little haul, it wasn't a little haul. I hope you've enjoyed watching this fairly substantial haul. If you have, give us a thumbs up, chat to me down below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!